BORTLE here, back from the LCS 7 event of the online format. That's the Luxury Championship Series number 7. This is the first ever 3v3 team event in history, online at least. So we have here today, guys, the Reich Disciples of Reich. What's up, guys? How are you doing?
Hello.
Hey, we are fine, thank you.
It's a pleasure
So-
to be here.
Oh, thank you. Well, I guess one by one, would you guys like to introduce yourselves to the world?
I am Rafael Reich, second place at Swords Dragon Duels in 17, something like this. And we played this weekend as the 3v3 event. It was insane.
My name is Mateus. Alongside with Rafael and Nikolas, we got top 4 in the LCS 3v3. I play Yu-Gi-Oh since 2019. And it's all for me.
Hello, my name is Nikolas Ladas, and yeah, it's my biggest accomplishment to go top 4 into the LCS 7 with those guys.
Okay, nice. And before we start the actual deck profile, would you guys like to do some shoutouts?
Well, I would like to shout out my both teammates. Like, they were really good. They played so well during the whole event and helped me also with my deck building some strategies. Also to my sponsor Emptiness, I faced him during the round 4. Really funny. It was my only loss during the whole event. And of course, my friend Marius, he was there with me in a Discord call, talking to me during the whole event. Like, okay, to stay in that long time tournament alone on your PC is like boring. So yeah, I needed a company.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with the Buster Blader deck profile. If you want to take it away, Nicholas.
Yeah, sure. Like the deck has a lot of starters to begin with. Like I wanted to build a deck with one card combos that would be really consistent. Okay, it had its breaks and stuff, but I think it was the best deck to win this event. Like the most represented decks, I was sure that would be Dragon League or Dino. So yeah, the deck has amazing matchup against every combo deck. Like the Dragon, I would say it's the worst one. Yeah, because it forces you to have like an interaction if you lose the RPS. So yeah, Dinos is the best matchup. They can't do anything to with their end board. They can't even break your board most of the times. Like even with ruler and stuff, you still have your traps to defend yourself. So I think that was the right deck to play for the event. Like the Buster Whelp is one of your best starters. You having Whelp, even if it gets negated, you still want a dragon in your graveyard to accomplish the full Buster lock, the real Buster lock without the extra deck that your every deck except my deck is using. Like it's like a Mystic Mind, but more aggro, like for one turn, and then you push for game. Also, a really good starter is Red Dice Fusion. Is like another normal sound you have, since you can't normal or do something else. Having Dragoon plus Red Dice into graveyard makes your prologue live again. So there's a synergy there that can help make the final board of Dragoon and Full Buster lock. Insight also is really good because Shensford costs the Wyvern, so you're gonna have a dragon in grave no matter what. And plus is like more consistent. I chose to cut it to 2 just for the ratios to keep the 42 as number. I didn't think like it was that necessary. I prefer to reduce that amount and avoid opening multiples and stuff. And here comes the spicy, like the Dogma engine count was the last thing I thought about on this deck. It's one of the strongest engines we ever had in the game. Like you can even send the dragon in the grave if you need. You can break boards with that, and the fact that it's the minimum engine I could play like one Ecclesion Flare, Trina during one punishment makes it obvious that it was not that necessary. It was just to make the deck even one step better. About the ratios of the hand traps are like 9. I think that's the optimal ratio to open at least one. Yeah, I was really well prepared post side deck against heavy combo decks that you had to stop them. So I think it was a safe amount of hand traps. The thing I loved about this deck is like you can play such powerful trap cards like Paleo, which it was an out to Mystic Mind many players used, and especially on game one, a Dino player Mystic Mind me and was like, I want to go game two. No, I will wait. And yeah, I drew my out. Sadly, I drew it like 15 turns later. It was yeah, too late. Won the next two games and put him in his place. And there can be only one is insane in this deck. Is like even if your deck plays different types, Bastard Dragon makes your opponent's monster dragon, so he can keep only one monster no matter what. It's like that. I cut it to two because it's not a good going champion, of course, and having multiple swords hurts you. And I that was because I also wanted to add Ice Dragon Prison. Is a now to Dragoon is a really good card. It's like a worse Palo in my opinion. Just the this card sometimes be good, sometimes not. So yeah, I'm thinking this card as a second Palo, to be honest.
Just real quick question. The trap tricks, how did you like running those? And did you kind of wish you had like a second punishment, or were you always like searching the punishment?
Punishment was a really weird card because sometimes locking yourself from the extra deck hurts you a lot. Like punishment is the last option you have to survive, let's say, or if you already have a strong board and you have the punishment just for the blast. Like punishment was not the trap I wanted to have alone. Like after the bastard lock just for the blast. Definitely don't wanna see this card all the time. I yeah, just for the blast.
Okay, and you did mention before you would beat dinosaurs in like 10 minutes. How was that matchup like? What exactly would you break up?
The worst thing Dino players can do you is like put you first, you have your Linkuribo and put Mystic Mine on board. That's the best thing they can do against you. Like, okay, if you have your Buster Lock with Dragoon, like they have to ruler you. Most some players like don't even play ruler, so they don't have any other out. And if they do, you have plenty of traps to defend yourself. Like they can't do something to you. Even Misk is useless because you make his monster dragons. Buster Dragon's effect is not activated, it's a continuous effect, so makes their best card, which is Misk, completely useless. And that's the thing that makes the whole thing so easy.
Nice. Would you like to run through your extra deck?
Like the extra is pretty standard, having 5 Buster Lader cards, the 2 Fusions, 2 Synchros, and 1 Link 2. The Dragoon and Verte, I made Verte like a lot in this event. I on the Villa that I'm using the same list. I'm not used to summon Verte that much as the in the event. Yeah, the 3 Dogma cards like entities really standard as well as Ash Dragon. The spicy walls with Redaplant, like you sometimes you mill that with Nadir and search Radiant Fusion in the next standby phase to have a play force your opponent on it, or even a mind game to like he's afraid of Radiant Fusion and he has to play around that and you don't even need it sometimes. BLS Link was so good, like won the Dogmatica Invoked matchup by its own. They can't pass that easily. It's a tower, it's a really good card. Unicorn, I think I summoned it twice. It's like a generic out to some problems you may have. It's a good run. It's a good out to have in your extra most of the times. One of my favorite cards in the extra was Link Rebel. Like, I think this card is so fucking good. You can even protect your wealth from getting Veiler or stuff if Link Rebel is engraved. Also, in the Dino matchup is insane to have Kuribo the tokens he's given to you and say thank you. Thank you that you helped me defend from Tyranno. Anima, I like sound it once or twice. It's just to punish the misplay your opponent may do with the placements.
Nice. And for those that aren't really familiar with the Buster Blader deck, what is the purpose of the Hot Red Dragon?
Oh yeah, forgot to mention that. It's because he didn't change that many times. It's like Buster Dragon is level 8 and Abish is level 9. So because the prologue destroys the Buster Dragon during the next end phase after you summon it, you have to make something with the Buster Dragon, either build Link, Verte, or if you have a tuner like Whelp or Veiler, you can go for Abyss. Abyss is a really good way to make the turn 3 play. It's a negate that can also play around Ruler to protect you. Like Prologue is a fucking insane card. Like you can chain it to protect distraction short cards you don't even have just on Ruler and chain Abyss to the Prologue. Like yeah,
Pretty
telling
insane.
one ruler, chaining two prologue, chaining three abyss, negating ruler, and you protect your whole board. Also, the special summon effect is to have another tuner go for other link plays or remake hard synchro the Bastard Dragon and stuff like that.
Alrighty, and as far as your side deck goes, you did mention earlier you threw more hand traps in there, so pretty nice choices here. And you did mention the Valor, easy access for the Abyss. Did you like this side deck overall, the Gamma package, all that?
You have to run all of them like I'm afraid the most of heavy combo, especially Dragon Link. I cannot out the extra clock and the board they established, so I have to stop on turn one. So Gamma was really important to be there. Veiler was in the main deck, but Raphael suggested me to go for Nibiru. Yeah, he was obviously right to have Nibiru instead of Veiler for such an event that Dragon League would participate that much. Also, Lancia. I was not sure about playing draw Lancia. It was my last two cards thinking about should be a draw, should be Lancia, and just because helps you even with a Dino matchup, and I think Lancia is a bit more impactful with dragons, and we're afraid of the Dragon Maid version of the Dragon Link. We choose to play Lancia. Cosmics are pretty standard back removal. I prefer them rather than Storms, just to have out to mine. Also, it was a one for one trade like Chain to Schism they may have. Storm cannot do that, unfortunately. So, yeah, Cosmic was my call. I cannot play Twisters just because of the discard. Hand size means a lot for this deck, especially when you have some vanillas in your hand to play with. And lastly, the going first cards were like Order and Two Judgment. I don't think I needed more. Or the other call was Anti-Spell. But Anti-Spells do not solve the problem. Like, okay, your opponent plays Invoke, he sets his Nadir, he sets Meld and stuff. Whatever the power spells of his are. The deck cannot OTK. That's a really big problem. Like 90% you cannot OTK, except if you have like your best board. 90% you cannot. So he's gonna have the same power spells next turn to push you. So okay, to have them stand for one turn, I prefer to have like the better order is obviously the best card you can open. But Judgment was like a mind game that you had to negate the wrong card or even help the play around reboot that a lot combo players were using.
Nice, great explanation. So, and final thoughts, guys, over this event.
I also want to say it was a really nice experience with my team. We almost played every single round was possible except the final, I guess. So yeah, we faced a lot of good players. I really proud of me and my team that we made that far. Can't say I didn't expect. I knew in which team I went for. So yeah.
And listeners, if you're not a part of BORTLE Nation, sub for BORTLE. It's that easy and it's free. Oh God, yes. Until next time, BORTLE out.